Hello there, my lovely Misfitians, and welcome back to another Let's Chat video. Today's video is going to be a little bit short. Sorry for the lighting and everything. It's really dark outside because we're supposed to have really bad storms today, bad storms with wind and possibly hail. And the dogs are in the room with me because they do not like bad weather days, and it's been bad weather pretty much every single day this week, which has been just an experience in itself. Thankfully, though, it hasn't been like really bad. We haven't had any damage or anything like that. But anytime, for those of you who have dogs, anytime we have severe weather, they get angsty and they just want to be attached to your hip basically because they're nervous. So it's been a week, to say the least, but I did want to basically share with you what I've been doing, and respond to last week's video where I asked you a question about what would you like to see in the future from me. So after reading all of the comments, and thank you so much for leaving comments, I read through almost all of them. I'm going to read through the rest this afternoon, but the last time I checked comments was a day ago. So if I have missed any, I'm going to get to them today. But basically, the majority of comments was y'all want mini tutorials for right now. So that's what I'm prepping and putting together right now. I was thinking about doing a moon, but then several of you said you'd like for me to do my animals. So I'm kind of curious, would you rather me do a moon or would you rather me do one of my animals, like a super simple illustration with one of my animals? Let me know in the comments down below which one you would prefer to have, and I'll start working on that. I have painted 2 different illustrations this week, and one of them is an animal, and then the other one is the moon, and I can do either one. I've kind of reviewed over how I would want to teach it. So let me know which one you would prefer, number 1. And then number 2, I thought I would share with you some of the supplies that I've been working with this week. So I'm going to share 2 supplies. Yeah, 2 supplies that I've been working with. The first supply that I wanted to share with you is I have been working with my Winsor & Newton watercolor pencils. And I'm using them, I'm noticing I'm really liking outlining my watercolor illustrations with a watercolor pencil and choosing a color that is close to what I will be painting so that the line kind of blends in with the paint that I'm going to lay down. So I have a little sketch right here. I'm going to grab it real quick. So this is, and hopefully you can see it, this is just a rough sketch on some watercolor paper of a little fox, and I did him all in red. I was going to play around with different colors and play around on this paper because it's a new type of paper that I have not worked around on yet. I haven't gotten to painting this one yet, but I have really enjoyed outlining recently my watercolor illustrations with watercolor pencils. And I know a lot of you have asked, like, how do you use watercolor pencils? And a lot of times I would use them to kind of patch areas if I felt like the color needed a little bit more oomph in a certain area. But recently I've actually been using them to outline, and I have really enjoyed doing that, and I really enjoy the final outlook of that particular look. Wow, it is getting really dark outside. So I want to say, if you're thinking about getting watercolor pencils to outline your illustrations, I personally really like the Winsor and Newton ones. I have the Derwent ones, but I like those better if I'm using them to color with. The Winsor and Newton ones have a harder, all of a sudden I don't know where I put it. I had it in my hand. The Winsor and Newton ones have a harder lead that I feel like when you sharpen them, it allows the line to be a lot sleeker than the Derwent ones. So I will say I really like the Winsor and Newton ones when you're outlining your illustrations. The next thing I wanted to share with you, and I've talked about this supply before, but I have found myself really going back to this Starry Night watercolor palette. I love adding little bits of glimmer or shimmer to my paintings, but I don't like for my gold to be overpowering. I like for it to kind of be like a little hint of, oh wow, that's cute, that's cool. If you're looking at something, Pepper, what are you doing back there, honey? So I have noticed recently, I've really been going back to these to add just that little bit of shimmer or that little bit of iridescent or gold look without it overpowering the illustration and kind of like all you see is gold. I don't like that particular look. I think it's almost so overpowering that all you see is the gold elements instead of seeing the illustration as a whole. Whereas these particular ones, I feel like do a really good job with adding a little bit of extra without overpowering the illustration. Now, I have used in the past the aqua bronze schminky ones. I'm going to get it real quick. These guys, these are really expensive. So I don't use them as often. They're going to last pretty much forever once you purchase it the first time, but they're really expensive up front. I will say if you want your gold to look more expensive, and all of a sudden it is pouring down rain. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. But if you want your gold to look more of an expensive look, especially if you're trying to sell an art print or give it as a gift, but you want it to look, I guess, a little bit more professional, I would go with one of these, the pale gold or the copper. I personally don't like the silver. I have the silver, but it stinks, number one. And then number two, it clumps up. It doesn't work the same as my copper and my pale gold. I like those two better. But if you're just wanting to add a little bit something extra, but you don't want to pay the expensive price, definitely pick this guy up and add that to your little extra repertoire. Another paint that I've been using, this is a third little product that I was using this week. I don't use core watercolors. I have a couple of ones that I like, but I decided to try this transparent, I think it's feral orange. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but I decided to try this particular color in the core because I wanted to do a fox illustration, but I wanted it to have more of a reddy orange rust color to it. And I also wanted to play around with granulation, which this one is a very granulating color. So I picked this up and I have to say I really enjoyed it. So here's my illustration that I did this week. I did a large fox. I played around with colors that I know because I wanted to play around first off with this, but I also wanted to play around with this paper as well. This is a Fabriano bright white Artistico, I think, is the paper, and it's a soft press. Once again, I've used the soft press 300, but I haven't used the I think this is the 140 pound weight. So I wanted to play around with this, and I also wanted to play around with my new core, and I really liked it. I thought it did really, really well, and I added some little iridescence colors to it, as well as I outlined the whole thing with the Winsor & Newton pencil. So yeah, that has kind of been my week, and putting all of this together and working through all of this. I'm still putting together the course that I've been talking about. I have gotten 2 episodes almost completely done. It's about an 8 episode series, so that's kind of the progress that I'm making on that. And I've been doing a lot of filler stuff to make it like really cinematic looking, so I've been enjoying that, as well as playing around with illustrations and also trying to figure out what to do for September's mini tutorial that I'm going to be putting together. Once again, before I go, please let me know, would you want me to do like a series of mini tutorials with animals? So each month I choose maybe a different animal to draw, or would you rather me do like subject matters such as the moon? I was thinking about starting off with first, and then maybe for October do like either a pumpkin or a tree, or something like that. So would you rather me do animals, or would you rather me do nature themed elements that relate to whatever is around the holiday, basically, or the season that is around that time of the month? So that is my question for today. I'm gonna go because it actually sounds really nasty outside. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it's like dark. Anyway, so lots of love, y'all. I'm gonna go. I will say Pepper is lounging and relaxing, which is great. That means I guess it's not too bad, but it is like pitch black outside right now, which is so weird. It is like 11:30 in the morning, so it should not be this dark outside. It looks like it's like 5 or just looking out the window, it looks like it's like evening time. Anyway, lots of love, y'all. I will see you next time, and make sure to leave comments down below letting me know what y'all would like for the future, for those mini tutorials, and I'll start working on those. So once again, have a happy weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.